All right, now I'm going to try to re-mummify this mic stand and introduce our first act, who is going to be author Catherine Gigante-Brown, whose latest novel is Immigrant Hearts, published by Velocil in 2025. Her previous 7 novels are also published by Velocil, including El Trilogy, The Bells of Brooklyn, Brooklyn Roses, A Different Drummer, Better Than Sisters, Paul and Carol Go to Guatemala, and Cry of Silence. Her essays have appeared in Italian Journal of Wine and Food and Essence. That is like that's a lot of stuff to cover, I feel like. Wine and food specific essence says, holy shit. All right, sorry, that was just Mom's Egg Review and Spill Words have published her poetry as well. Her poems also appear in the anthologies Eternal Show, Tiger Love and Blues, At the Crossroads, and We Had to Be. Several of Catherine's pieces have been performed at the Rosedale Theater Collective's short play festivals. Everybody give it up for Catherine Gigante-Brown, who's coming up right now. There you go, it's all you.
Thank you. Hi, thanks for coming, everybody. Really nice crowd for a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Peter, turn off your phone, please. That's my husband. So in the true spirit of the variety show, I am going to read a bunch of different types of poetry. I'll try not to be too depressing because a lot of my stuff is. So you'll laugh, you'll cry. Hopefully they'll make you think. And I wanted to start with this one. As the granddaughter of an immigrant, I felt moved to begin with this piece. It's called I Am, and it was built from stories that friends told me about their own families' journeys to the U.S. and my own family's as well. I am for Jojo, Jay, and Juju. I am Muslim, Jewish, Mexican, Black, Italian, Cuban, Haitian, gay, disabled. I am a refugee, a homeless vet. I am a woman. I am from shithole countries and broken down palaces. My face is all the colors of the rainbow in shades of brown. It's tricky turning pages. Okay. I came here from Naples as a young man named Antonio on a steamship called the Giuseppe Verdi, frightened and alone. I came here with my father as Lydia, a young girl of 11, on an airplane from Havana to Idlewild Airport. I wore a scratchy crinoline slip beneath my stiff, new woolen dress with no winter coat and saw snow for the very first time. I came here as Juliet, a young woman on a boat from Haiti. I became an American citizen as soon as I possibly could, and I celebrated that day with a party every year of my life until the day I died. I am me, but I am also you. I am everyone who has ever yearned to breathe free. I am wretched refuse and tempest-tossed. I am that golden door beckoning you to come inside and stay a while, inviting you to build a new life in me. This one is called Reflections of... Thank you. Thank you. What did Dom DeLuise used to say as Dominic the Great? He used to say, no applause, save it till the end, but you can clap anytime you want. Thank you. Reflections on a Black militant lesbian poet. I remember the day it happened. I was taking the subway home, pressed against the other strap hangers. It was hot, sticky, close. I wasn't in a very good mood. But then I saw something that made me smile. On a placard high above my head was a piece of a poem courtesy of New York City Transit Authority's Poetry in Motion series. Coal was written by Audre Lorde, one of my professors at Hunter College. I felt proud, then immediately saddened, for at the end of the poem, along with the year of Lorde's birth, was the year of her death. I hadn't known. Audre Lorde made me angry. She made me think. At first, I imagined that she was picking on me because she was so demanding. Didn't she realize I had 5 other classes and worked part-time besides? But I soon learned that Lorde didn't dislike anyone. She only sought the truth in poetry, in life, in me. When she gave an assignment to write a poem about anger, I described the prejudice that wounded me as stewing like meat in its own grease. Her yes, with not 1 but 2 underlines, said it all. She understood. It evolved into something of a game, our creative sparring. Lorde knew that I knew that she would not tolerate lazy excuses for prose. But I kept testing her. I could still see her now, her voice strong and melodic, her small rectangular eyeglasses perched at the tip of her nose, green marking pen in hand, a bright hand-woven tunic loosely floating about her body, the soft essence of patchouli surrounding her, one side of her chest flat, for she refused to wear a prosthesis to mask her cancer battle, and her eyes, those penetrating black, unwavering eyes that burned right through to the core, like coal. Yes, just like coal. And so that day, on the Brooklyn-bound F train, I read Audre Lorde's poem and cried. I was glad to have known her. I was sorry she was gone. I only wish I could thank her.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Now, I wrote this poem about 15 years ago when I realized my son's childhood was fleeting and that we'd never have these moments again. So P.S., David in the poem, he just got married last month. David at 10. David at 10 is a shock of puppy brown hair, big eyes honest, green-blue, wrap strong, spindly arms around my neck in hello. I look forward to meeting the man you will become, to watching your story unravel before me like a good book. For now, I am busy loving David at 10, content with holding the hand that still reaches for mine when we cross the street, happy snuggling on top of the covers as we read each night, savoring your tired kiss on my cheek and your unguarded laugh like unexpected gifts before they disappear, because David won't be 10 forever. Thank you. Thanks. So now I'm going to out myself. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2013, and this is the first poem I wrote about it. 1 in 8. You can't imagine living through this. Maybe that's why you're so nice, so supportive. If not for the grace of God, go you. 1 in 8. I think it's probably more. When I walk into a room, you count. 1 in 8. If it's me, then it's probably not you. So you breathe a sigh of relief. 1 in 8. It's not as bad as you might imagine, just a bump of fat. Decorative, really. But it helped serve me well, helped feed my son. 1 in 8. You're living my worst nightmare, some might look at me and think. But not really. My worst nightmare would be being dead at 53. You see, my left breast was trying to kill me. Thank you. Thanks. And this one I dedicate to my sister, who has been there with me through everything. She's in the audience. Liz. Yes. So this past December came a new diagnosis, and the last poem I wrote about breast cancer. It's called Stage 5. It broke my heart to tell my sister that my breast cancer was back, this time nestled in my bones. I tried to explain to her, as tenderly as possible, that I was metastatic, which is the same as stage 4. There is no stage 5. Now I'm going to bring it up. Sorry to get so dark. But this leads us to deserving Italy. So eat the cake, have that cocktail, especially here, and buy the bike, because you never know. Deserving Italy. At first, I didn't think that I deserved Italy. Perhaps it was guilt or embarrassment that I wasn't worthy of nice things. But in this bittersweet existence, nothing is guaranteed. Trust me, it is all a gift, all of it. Birth and life and everything in between. And that is when I knew that I deserved Italy. We all do. Thanks. Thank you. This is a poem about sons and mothers and that fierce love we have for them. It's called Fierce. A mother's love is fierce. In 1960, Illinois, she will buy her son a bright pink mixer. You know, a kiddie kitchen appliance. It was the only thing 3-year-old Kent wanted for Christmas that year. And not only did Mrs. Weekly buy Kent that mixer, but she sewed him a matching apron and neatly rolled up his little sleeves whenever he wanted to play cook. The joy on that child's face was palpable, and that's the moment Mrs. Weekly knew. A mother's love is fierce. She will go wig shopping with her son and help him pick out the most flattering dress to wear for Bear Week in P-Town. Even though Mrs. Scott doesn't quite know what Bear Week is, and truthfully, she really doesn't want to know. But just the fact that it makes her son Casey happy is enough. A mother's love is fierce. She will call out the kids who made her son Daniel's life miserable and bullied him in summer camp just because he was different. She will publicly shame them, but not name them, because that gives them power on social media 25 years later, because that's what mothers do. Even though Mrs. Levy secretly worried how the world was going to treat her brilliant little boy who loved to twirl, she supported him and defended him. A mother's love is fierce. Even when her son says he's the worst kid in the world because he can't read at age 8, and even when Mrs. B is afraid that he will never learn to read despite her best efforts, she tells him, "I think you're the best kid in the world because you're mine." Yes, a mother's love is fierce. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. So every poetry reading, it's obligatory to have a haiku. So this is mine. There's nothing like a baby in the family to breathe new life and hope and spark a haiku. This is called Haiku for Hannah Lily. My cousin coos sweet, her baby on my shoulder. Farsi lullaby. Thanks. Thank you. And this is for my husband, Peter, who showed up better late than never. And his phone went off. Aw. Yes. It's hard to believe that 9/11 was 24 years ago last week. I must have written about 50 poems in the aftermath to get through it. This is one. Welcome to beautiful Binnywater. It was the first time I had seen him truly smile since 9/11. Another firefighter had taken my husband's photograph that day. His expression of horror, almost unbearable against the backdrop of destruction. It was tattooed in my memory like a nightmare. But on August 7th, almost 1 year later, his face was so joyous, etched against old pines and new sky, that I made him buy the property, and it was our salvation. Thanks. And this is for my grandmother, Raquel Martinez, who passed away at 101 last year. This is based on something she told me, almost word for word, and I thought it was so beautiful, I had to turn it into a poem. So you can't tell me anything because it might turn into a poem. So this is called String of Pearls. My husband bought me a string of pearls, bigger than the ones you're wearing now. We were strolling along Lincoln Road in Miami Beach, which was lined with jewelry stores back in 1946. When Enrique and I stopped to admire a pearl necklace in a shop window, he asked, "Do you like it?" And I told him, "Yes, it's very beautiful." Then we walked on. He was a merchant marine, your grandfather, and soon was on a ship sailing away from me. Little did I know that he'd bought the pearl necklace. He slipped it to his best friend to give to me on Valentine's Day, which was less than a week after we had taken our walk along Lincoln Road. It was the most romantic thing he'd ever done. Enrique has been dead now more than 40 years, and I am old, 93 on my last birthday. After my husband died, I gave the pearls to our daughter Lucy. You see, I had no use for them anymore. Thank you. Thank you. This is my last piece. I want to thank everyone for coming, especially Charlie coming all the way from the UK, and, and Claudio coming from Miami, and everyone coming from wherever you come from. It's really nice to be able to share poetry and art with everybody. So I started with immigrants, and I'm going to end with immigrants. This is the last paragraph from my novel, Immigrant Hearts, which I have copies of. Yeah. Here, Antonio and Luisa's daughter reflects about them. At first glance, my parents' lives might look very small. They didn't accomplish big things. They didn't travel very often, except upstate to Stone Ridge. Few besides the family and the Bay Ridge community knew who they were. But I think it's these supposedly tiny lives like theirs that make all the difference. It's these seemingly insignificant people who create the true fabric of our society. It's the immigrant hearts beating that make the world go on and on. They always will. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Everybody, give it up again for Catherine Gigante-Brown. All right. Prolific poet, survivor. All right.